So we are really as a creature which is really bound to our psychology. And I think psychology is super important. Number one, it's because by understanding psychology, you understand your psychology, why you think the way you think, and why you act the way you act, and why you're living like you're living right now. And so, number one, it's super important to understand psychology because you now know what you are, why you are, and you can change it by understanding. Because when you understand psychology, or why you think the way you think, and then you can actually navigate not by completely controlled by your psychology. And number two, it's important to understand because you understand how everybody is operated by their psychology. So you have a better chance to have conveying your idea better. You have better chance to have a great relationship with others. And because you understand psychology means you understand somebody else better, really. So you can really act based upon that knowledge. And that's a good thing. Because without understanding psychology much, you might just go like a bluntly. And you might not get really, personally connected with somebody who might be important in your life. And so understanding psychology is very important for two reasons. One for yourself and then one for the others. And what was I going to say? Just a second. It's morning and then I started talking about psychology because I was thinking about just slipped out of my head. But psychology is important for two reasons. And yeah, we are bound by psychology, and how human brain evolved over time through the difficult time that our brain is super tuned into negativity, possible danger that we could encounter. So we tend to think about things a little bit more careful so that we don't get ourselves involved in some kind of dangerous situation that was important back then, Stone Age and stuff like that. But today it's kind of, overly. Sometimes it functions too much overly. So, and then I was going to talk about instinct, and that's why I think I started with talking about my understanding and thoughts about psychology. But the instinct is super important, and then I believe all of us have kind of some kind of powerful instinct. and then the variety of instinct. The reason I said is because instinct is, I think, based on, I think simply you can put it as instinct is based on previous experience. The built experience in the previously will kind of accumulated what you learned from previous experience will be accumulated and then built into subconscious mind. And so, and it's powerful, but some young folks probably don't have much experience personally. But what I also believe is the instinct is coming from previous experience, I said. But that also includes experience from previous lives. So it is actually super powerful because you have that. This is what I believe. The conscious mind, your conscious mind, only have a capability of, thinking, right? Thinking about things and then judging about things and stuff like that. And your subconscious level have all the access to instinct based on your experience. But your experience is not just your experience. It's a lot more experience. So it's really powerful thing, and that's really connected to your soul. And only subconscious mind have access to it. But a lot of people probably really go by instinct really negatively because they think it's illogical. But think about it. If you have such a powerful instinct based on many of your previous lives, would that be more illogical than what you can think based on the knowledge and experience you accumulated in your really relatively short time of period? I mean, of course, you should be a little bit careful. That's true, but when when your instinct is almost right, or 400% sure, 100% right, why would you go against instinct? And I think most of the case is the thoughts about what people would think. You would, when you have those great instinct, you want to go for it. But the number one thing I think that really go against taking it is your thoughts about what other people would think about me when I do this, or when you do this, when we do this, right? I think. And because that's human brain is really structured and evolved based on as a human being, we are a social creature. We cannot avoid living possibly outside of it. So that's why we are so built and we are so tuned into what other people would think. And it's a good thing, of course, sometimes. And most of the time, living in the society, you have to understand other people. And that's why we could live and collaborate, as a social group, whatever the group is. But if you let the kind of thought what other people would think if you do it and negate your instinct, I think that's not beneficial for you. And making a decision based on what other people would think is super irrelevant and super illogical, actually. The most illogical thing you could think or you could use in order to make a decision. Because, I mean, who cares? It's your life. As long as you don't make, crime, or you don't commit, as long as you commit crime or kill people or hurt somebody, why would you care about what other people think about you? So that's what I think about the psychology and instincts. And yeah. I'm doing this, trying to do it every day, because I'm trying to do this every day. Number one, it's altruistic reason, to share my idea and then share my thoughts. Maybe someday it could help somebody. And so that's my reasons. And the other side of the reason, other part of the reason, half and half, the other half is my selfish reason. Half for others, half for myself, half for others, half for myself. And that is my, I want to basically, speed out my idea and thoughts and kind of maintain my journal by doing this in video format. And so that's my selfish reason. And so today it's probably around 6:30 in the morning, but instinct, I think it's super important to trust instinct, kind of know when, of course, sometimes your thought would trick, what's not instinct, but your thought would trick that's instinct or something like that. But when you have real true instinct that you should really trust. But when you have instinct that you should completely eliminate your thoughts about what other people would think, because that probably is the number one reason that you're not having 100% access to instinct. That is really powerful for your life. And yes, so I'm doing for two reasons that I said. So anyways, have a good morning.